So everything is changing. So the customer, the business models are changing because the offline model in this stockbroking industry is kind of shrinking with every passing day because of the margin which we are getting out of this business. So everybody is slowly and steadily moving towards online, and we have started our online journey quite some time back.
Is the organization able to really pick up those data points, whether it's my CIBIL score, whether it's my credit history, or whether it's my personality, and then make my life convenient? Most organizations are either looking for a repeat sale, giving a loan to a same customer, or maybe they are looking for a cross sale. Are you really making the whole life or a process convenient? And obviously, digital plays the role in terms of bringing in that convenience.
For us, the bigger hurdle was kind of the mindset and the approach of being entirely remote and training up managers to kind of manage this large workforce who's spread out and ensure that the data that has to be analyzed and produced is done, because that's where the biggest barriers were. Managers were just not used to having a remote workforce.
The difficulty in skilling, an issue which we faced was we were very dependent on the already existing workforce. Training the new workforce was the issue, because traditionally we are used to training them, in classrooms, taking them. So juniors shadow their seniors in meetings and try and understand the client side. You can't replace that. Now you can get them on a Zoom call, or you can get them into meetings, but if they're not able to understand, and when you enter the client's room, for example, I'm just throwing an example. The first thing you do is observe the room, understand what interests him, what are the kind of books he has, what's on his table. So these are the things which were very different, and we had to suddenly adapt to a space where we couldn't do all of these things.
Because one is lending is far more easier because you're dishing out money. When you want to collect a deposit, it requires a different kind of an equation with the customer. So, how do you do that? And how do you actually ask the customer to part with their money when you're cross-selling a product, an insurance or something? So that's an upscaling we had to do. And we took it in terms of small nuggets. We use digital as a framework because most of our employees, the medium of communication or understanding is vernacular. So we had to have a very effective and quick way of delivering learning nuggets to them on their tabs. Every field officer of ours has a tab. So we use the tabs as a medium to be able to deliver these small nuggets of learning.
So let's say I'm a L&D person and I intend to create a program to increase 20% sales. Let's say if there's a 9 per IC average, and I have to take it up to 20 because in digital era during pandemic the requirement increased. So if I have to take it to 20, I need to ensure that I have at least 2 to 3 subject matter experts build up within that bridge, who would take and ensure that the to and fro of the communication, the knowledge and the process is seamless, and the monitoring has to be quite effective around it.
Yeah, we have tried, the mentorship, and even in my retail business, which I had, but before the person actually starts and managing the client on his own. So you can call it shadowing, you can call it mentorship, but it works well to our it's much more. We have found that the qualitative as well as the quantitative output is far better. Even the organization perspective, we get a far more kind of a comfort because you're getting a feedback from both sides, right? Mentor and mentee.
All our induction programs for all our frontline staff, which is what actually get us business, is that those orientation programs were followed up with proctored training assessments. So we introduced proctored training assessments. On the basis of that, the transfer of learning was assessed. That's one thing that what we did. Second, after the training is done, that is the first 3 days of the person joining, and then he goes into the field. After that, we track the performance of each and every frontline staff. and we measure them on the basis of their collection and disbursement efficiencies. Like for a collection agent or the FLC as we call it, whether the person, what is the percentage of incentives which he or she earns over a period of next 3 months is tracked. And what indicative numbers had shown is that the better or effective the training program is or the induction program is, statistics or data shows us that those people have earned more incentive, which means they have done more business. That is one part. And second thing also, what we did is that we tracked basic business metrics, and everything is shared on an app with all the FLCs on the ground. They know where they stand on a daily basis, how much incentive they have earned. So that is a continuous tracking mechanism. And the third thing that we also did is that track the zero DPD, as they say. The customers, if I have 50 customers which I have disbursed my loan, am I able to collect them on the day of repayment? That is
with one company called Wellness Forever, where we do the entire onboarding with them, and we actually track 2 parameters. Very simple: time to productivity. As he's going through the learning journey on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, we actually show him how quickly he'll become productive. Second thing we do is his probability to leave you, because we have the demographic data of the person, and we understand on the first 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, how he's performing on the learning, and we have a lot of data on the past data. We are actually able to predict that on the 40th day, there's a good probability that he might leave you.
So everybody who a new role holder will go through these three stages. So in the observation phase, they tagged along with the person, they need to observe. And before they go to the observation phase, we have a 2 week of orientation where we tell them what to observe. Right? We teach them everything about the life in a day in the life of a field officer, a day in the life of a branch manager. We teach them everything, what they do at 6 o'clock in the morning, so they have actually cheat sheet. When they go with the cheat sheet, they observe. Then they need to demonstrate to the mentor, and then they have to perform. So during the performance phase, somebody gives them the feedback. In all the 3 phases, they need to enter it in an online portal.